Good morning, year 3. So, welcome back to today's maths. We're still using models and we're working on adding and subtracting calculations in word problems, where it can be a little bit more complicated, so we have to take our time and make sure we read them. Now, today I'm going to show you how to draw the bar models. Sometimes you might be given the question and you don't have the bar model to help, so you have to try and read through it and try and figure out how you're going to draw the bar model to show that question. Okay, so let's look at question number 1. There are 24 marbles in a jar. Ravi puts 124 more marbles into the jar. How many marbles are there in the jar now? Now, one thing I find quite helpful is sometimes reading through the question again without the numbers. So just ignoring the numbers. So let's read through it. There are marbles in a jar. Ravi puts more marbles into the jar. How many marbles are there in the jar now? So we already know, just by reading that, because he's put more in, there's going to be more now. So to make a number bigger, we know that we're going to be adding. So I've just put a little plus on the side to remind me, I already know that we're going to be adding. So let's see. We know when we draw an adding bar model that we've got two parts and we're trying to find the whole. So the first part we have, there are 24 marbles in a jar. Let's draw just a very small bar. I'm using a ruler to keep it nice and neat, but I know some people might not have a ruler at home. Normally I would tell you off in school for not using a ruler, but I'll let you away with it whenever you're at home. Just try your hardest to make it nice and neat. So we know we started with 24 marbles. Then he puts 124 more, so he adds them to the 24 that are already there. This bar should be bigger because 124 is bigger. Doesn't matter lots, but it just helps to picture it a bit more. And we are trying to find how many marbles there are now. So that's how many there are all together. So we're adding to find the total of this bit and this bit together. Okay, I haven't really left myself very much room to work it out, but we're going to do, I'll just do column method for this one. So 124, add 24. You can see it on the side. I'll zoom in and make it a little bit bigger. 4 add 4, we know makes 8. 2 add 2 makes 4, and 1 add 0 makes 1. So we can go back and label our bar model so the total is 148 marbles. Okay, let's read question number 2. I'll try and make my bar a little bit smaller so I've got room at the side. So a farmer collects 127 tomatoes and 235 strawberries. How many fruits does he collect together? So it's very similar to the first question, where we are finding together. Normally that means adding. So we're finding the tomatoes and the strawberries. So let's draw a little bar for our tomatoes first. Just draw a nice neat square. And he has 127 tomatoes. So I'm going to write 127. And he also has 235 strawberries. So this bar should be a little bit bigger. Oh. 235 strawberries. And we're trying to find how much he has all together. So we're adding this part and this part to find the tomatoes and the strawberries. We use column method again. It doesn't matter which way whenever we're adding, which way the numbers go. So 127 add 235. So 7 add 5 is 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can't squish the 1 and the 2 in here, so we're going to keep the 2 and regroup the 10 ones as 110. Then we're going to add 2, add 3 makes 5. Remembering the regrouped 1 makes 6. And 1 add 2 makes 3. So he has 362 fruits altogether. So that is the total of the 2 fruits. So we know if we have 2 parts like this, or like this one, it's going to be adding. Can you remember what a subtracting bar model would look like? So subtracting bar model would be if we had the whole, so we had the total amount here, and one side of the bar model. That would be a subtracting calculation. Let's read number 3. Lulu has 500 buttons. She sells 201 buttons. How many buttons does Lulu have left? Let's try this one again without the numbers, and let's see if we can figure out if it's going to be adding or subtracting. Are we going to have a bigger answer or a smaller answer? So Lulu has buttons. She sells buttons. So she sells some buttons. How many buttons does Lulu have left? So we know because she sold some, she's going to have less than what she started with. So that means if something's less, it's going to be a subtracting, isn't it? It's going to be taking away. So we can draw a bar model, a whole part, or a whole and a part bar model. So a little bit squished just because there's so many questions today. So we know she started with 500. And she sold 201. So it's almost half, but not quite. This is how many she sold. And what we're trying to find out is how many she has left. So the leftover part would be this bit here. So to work that out, we're going to take away. So 500 take away 201. Now I know when we're adding, it doesn't matter which way around the numbers go in column method, but it does never subtracting. So this is how many we started and this is how many we took away. It would not make sense if we did the 201 on top and the 500 below, because that's not that wouldn't give us the right answer. So we know 0 take away 1, we can't do that yet. We can't regroup from the 10, so we're going to have to regroup from the hundreds. So we started with 500s, now we're going to have 4. We started with 10s, and now we're going to have 10 10s. But a little bit squished here. We're going to have to regroup again. So now we have 9 10s and 10 1s. Okay. Hopefully on your paper you remember to leave yourself a bit more room than I have. So 10 take away 1 is 9. You can just about see the 9 in there. 9 take away 0 is still going to be 9. And 4 take away 2 is 2. So we know that she now has 299 buttons left. Now if you wanted to check this answer, the same as if you wanted to check all of your questions that you do, you could do the reverse. So you could try adding 299 and 201 and finding out if your answer is 500. Because if it is, then you know you've worked it out right. So that's one way that you can check it. You probably could have estimated that as well, because you know 500 take away 200 would be 300. So it's going to be quite close, isn't it? Now this is our last question for today. A postman has to deliver 348 letters. He delivers some letters and has 289 letters left to deliver. How many letters has he delivered? So this is quite a tricky question, because it hasn't given us any words that we know are definitely adding or subtracting. So let's read it again without any words. A postman has to deliver letters. He delivers some letters and has this many left. How many letters has he delivered? So we know how many he started with. We know how many he has left. So we're trying to find the difference. And we know the difference in something is going to be taken away. So I have a little bit more room so I can draw my bar model a little bit bigger, hopefully. So we know he started with, we'll read the question again, he started with 358 letters. He delivered some, we don't know how many yet, and has 289 left. So out of the 358, he has 289 left. And we're trying to find out how many he has already delivered. We're trying to find out this part. So let's do our column method. 358 taking away, because we know if we've got the whole and one part it's going to be taken away, 289. So we'll always start with the ones. 8 take away 9, we can't do that, so we're going to have to regroup from our tens. We started with 5 tens, now we're going to have 4. We started with 8 ones, now we have 18. 18 take away 9 is going to be 9. 4 take away 8, we can't do that yet, so we're going to have to regroup from the hundreds, and our 4 becomes 14. 14 take away 8 is 6. Okay, one way you can do that, you can count back 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Or you can add on as well. So how many do I have to add to 8 to make 14? It's up to you. And then 2, take away 2 is going to leave us with 0. Now we know we don't have to write that 0. If the 0 is at the front of the number, we don't have to write it. It's only if it's in the middle of the number or at the end that we do, because it's a placeholder. So then we can fill in the blank, and we know that he has 69 letters left. Alright. Now have a go today. If you find it easier, read the question again without the numbers. Some of the questions should have the bar models already drawn for you, so look at that for a clue as well. Have you got the whole and one part, or so it's a subtracting, or have you got 2 parts and you need to find the whole, so it's an adding? And then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll have more practice.